Every Tuesday after Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football starts the NFL week, and Monday Night Football closes the NFL week. So at the start of the second hour, every Tuesday, I do the herd hierarchy. I don't know why I take so much time, why I care so deeply about this, but I do, and here we go. My staff pushed back strongly on this, but I'm going to give the Miami Dolphins some love. They lead the NFL in picks. Their defense is top 6. But here's what's really impressed me with the Dolphins. We know what's happening in the NFL right now. Quarterbacks that get offensive-minded head coaches are flourishing. Ryan Tannehill has won 10 of his last 11 starts. I want to say that again. Ryan Tannehill's won 10 of his last 11 starts with Adam Gase. In that time, take a deep breath, he's completing 70% of his throws. I don't think Ryan Tannehill's that special. We have a trend in the NFL. Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins, I know they play just the Jets, the Titans, and the Raiders at home, but they get into the herd hierarchy for the first time. I still like Atlanta. They can't stop anybody. I mean, they can't. I mean, their third down defense is 31st in the NFL. They can't get people off the field. They've lost both safeties for the year. They've lost 3 defensive starters for the year and 4 starters overall, but I still love this offense. They're tremendously efficient. They've been better in the red zone lately. Last couple of weeks, they've been better in the red zone offensively. There's not a lot I don't like about this football team, except for the fact now they're beat up physically. And what's ironic is they were the only team that entered the season completely healthy. Nobody on the IR of note. But I've taken them out of Super Bowl consideration. I just don't think they can get people off the field on third down. I have them at 9. And the team they lost to, New Orleans, at 8. I think basically New Orleans is Atlanta with an offensive-minded head coach. Second in points, 15 yards per play. That's a big Vegas stat. Yards per play. The Saints deliver big time. But again, like Atlanta, they can struggle to get people off the field on third down. I put New Orleans, a little snazzier version right now, a little healthier version than Atlanta at number 8. Let's not go crazy on the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, everybody has one of those Sundays. The Steelers have about 4 a year. They had 1. This is still an excellent roster. By the way, the Rams' corners are both hurt. Watch them give the Rams fits this Thursday on Fox. Their secondary is still one of the best, if not the best, in football. They have a great home field advantage. They got caught napping. Don't pile on. This is still an elite team that could be playing in January. Vikings 31st in rushing, but they are 4th in passing. So they're moving, they're getting the ball on explosion plays. They'll get the running game figured out. This is my dark horse Super Bowl team. You rolled your eyes at me. They lead the NFL in total defense, the Baltimore Ravens. You think of them as a defensive team and a special teams juggernaut, right? Because John Harbaugh was a special teams coach. 12 trips to the red zone this year. 12 touchdowns. Yeah, that's them. They drafted 2 tight ends. They acquired 3 wide receivers. Give this puppy time to bake. Okay, they got all new pieces for Joe Flacco. 2nd in the NFL in point differential. Don't go crazy. My dark horse Super Bowl pick, 12 for 12, touchdowns in the red zone. This team just needs time. They got 5 new guys for Flacco, who's in a contract year. He's got a little Lamar Jackson now behind him. This team is going nowhere. The Steelers, who are basically a little less consistent version of Baltimore and more explosive on the perimeter with the Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, Antonio Brown. Listen, they have 9 more penalties than the next closest team in the NFL, and they are the roller coaster ride in the NFL. But they're 2nd in total offense. They're tied for 2nd in sacks. You just have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because they're all over the map. There are times I don't think they're well coached. I mean, last night they had that game wrapped up, and then all of a sudden 7-8 minutes left, you're like, oh, good Lord, what's happening? Wildly dysfunctional, heavily penalized, but incredibly fun and explosive. Steelers at 5. Philadelphia Eagles, first of all, last week, Carson Wentz is back. It was wet and rainy, and they're all banged up. So don't take last week's narrow win over Indianapolis as any sign of anything. They still are statistically the best rushing defense in the NFL. They're 2nd and 3rd down defense. They get people off the field, and that's a real big thing. Okay, the Saints and the Falcons can't get people off the field on third down. The Eagles get people off the field. They're banged up. They had a super conservative game plan on a wet field for Carson Wentz. Eagles still top 4, and the top 4 teams in my herd hierarchy, to me, should be Super Bowl favorites. Never had Jacksonville this high. It's not about their defense. Their defense is second in the NFL in scoring defense, 4th in total defense. I know that's good. What's kind of blown me away is with Leonard Fournette not healthy, Blake Bortles has looked really comfortable. He's not looked really great because he's not great. But Blake Bortles now, second year with Tom Coughlin running the show, has looked very, very comfortable. That defense alone can't win you a Super Bowl. There's too many points scored in this league. There's too many rules, anti-defense, pro-offense. But right now the Jags are third. Kansas City. You know, they always say in Vegas that don't get too caught up on turnovers because they're random, except with Andy Reid and the Patriots. They have 1 turnover this year. To be as explosive as they are offensively and not turn it over, that's coaching. Even Vegas says fumbles are random. Not really with Andy Reid and not with Bill Belichick. Those guys coach their players to hold on to the football. They lead the NFL in points per game. They lead the NFL in I will say this. They give up a lot of gash plays. But they're third in the NFL in third down defense. They'll get you off the field. They'll get you off the field. Now, they give up chunk plays, which worries me because when you face the best quarterbacks in the playoffs, do you get burned on that? But they are the fireworks show of the NFL. I have them at 2. I don't think anybody's close to the Rams. In fact, the biggest break the rest of the league got this week is Aqib Talib is hurt and out for a month, and Marcus Peters is hurt and out for a month, and they're studs, and they're both out for Minnesota. So Minnesota, which is a very good passing team right now, not a running team, will give the Rams real problems Thursday night in Los Angeles. This team's stacked. I like their coach. I like their coordinator. I think Jared Goff's the most underrated quarterback in the league. He doesn't talk, and the Rams are kind of like an expansion team, so nobody's paying attention to him. Third down offense, number 1. Offense, scoring defense, point differential. I don't even know what their weakness is. They're not great at linebacker, and now they've got an issue at corner, which makes them vulnerable over the next month. But from coaching to defensive coordinator Wade Phillips, O-line, receivers, running back, quarterback, D-line, secondary, safety, special teams are the best in the league. The Rams look like the number 1 team in the National Football League. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.